Alrighty.
All
No.
right. Welcome aboard, Snacks. How you doing?
I'm alright.
So, I've been told they're working you very hard at Amazon.
Yes, that is definitely a statement that you can make.
hmm All right. So this is not going to be a super long stream because I have to go get dinner myself at a certain point, but we are going to stream for a little bit here.
Woo.
Okay, I think we're all set up here. So, yeah, I'm sure you've seen by now, but Time Magazine did the only thing that they could do
Yay.
if they want to be even remotely intellectually consistent.
Yeah, we're gonna start seeing a lot of changes in what businesses do and how they behave in the next couple of years. It's not gonna be because we just flat out won, because there's still so much work to do.
Right.
Jesus. Boy. There's still so much work to do. We haven't completely won yet. It's not that, but a lot of people are going to take it as being that way, so they'll do the premature victory dance.
hmm
But what's happening is that the inertia of leftism and their stranglehold over the culture, and them having access to all the gazillionaires who are manipulating the culture financially, that inertia is slowing down to the point where it's just about ready to stop. So a lot of companies are going to start changing their policies and what they do and how they cover reality, because they just want to make money. So I'm sure it pissed Time Magazine off something fierce to have to do this, but they didn't have any other choice because they need to make money. And it's the same with CNN. They're obviously still going to be anti-Trump, but they've literally been doing everything that they can to try to position themselves over the last year to be the reasonable anti-Trump group. They want to be taken seriously, so they want to offer legitimate criticism. Because I still remember some years ago when a very important world event happened. I can't remember exactly what, but CNN was the only major news source that wasn't covering it because they were focused on a hit piece on Trump where some lady said that Trump eating fried chicken with a fork and a knife was despicable. So she was like, "Oh my God, look at how stupid it is to eat like this." So she's doing that active demonstration. Meanwhile, everybody else is talking about, "Oh, look at this thing that's happening." It's pretty funny. But it's, a lot of people are going to see that and declare victory, but it's not. We haven't won yet. It's a good sign to be sure, but
I'm very happy.
yeah.
Apparently, Zuckerberg donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund, which doesn't hold a candle to the $500 million he spent to help him lose in 2020. But we're getting there.
Yeah. He's definitely kissing the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me.
Get a ring for him to kiss right here. Oh, snap.
Have you been seeing all the racist stuff on X? I mean, yeah, I've been posting most of it. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, Gino, for MVP.
Oh, that's outstanding. You love to see it. Have you seen all the racist stuff on Twitter? I should hope so. Of course I know him. He's me. Oh, man. All right, I will be back in just a minute.
Okay.
My food got here. Yeah, DLC is going good so far. Definitely enjoying myself.
Very
I
nice.
drank a full can of Foster's. I don't know how much this is. Let me see here.
Is it true?
25 fluid ounces. It's not much. You know, it's just like the same size as any regular tall boy. But it hit me a lot harder than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. So now that we've had the opportunity to digest it for a little more than a week, and since we haven't really had the chance to talk about it privately because you've been so busy, how do you feel about the whole United Health CEO Luigi Marchioni situation?
When I get back from getting my food, I'll talk about that whole thing. But short preview and quick and to the point for anybody who's thinking about it. I really do not buy this official story. If, and that's a huge if to me, they actually do have the right guy and he's the guy that did it, I think he is the fucking poster child for an MK Ultra case.
What is it?
But I don't think it was him. Get more into that when I come back.
This is the place.
No.
Actually,
I see.
Actually,
Oh?
Ovi. Truly.
Truthfully.
I'll see you again soon. See you later. Well, now,
sure.
thank you greatly. It's strange. Until recently, I lived with such fear. But then... Yeah! Yeah! Really?
All right then. Go.
Okay?
I beg your pardon.
Now then. All right then.
All right, so I'm back now.
Welcome back.
Great, innit?
So
What's up?
I don't think that it was just some random guy like they're trying to tell us, because aside from the fact that the pictures and the video footage does not match up to me, what I saw looked way too professional for some random guy. So the only way that it could really have been some random guy is if he had been MK Ultra and received training from professionals. Which makes sense, because that was the entire point of MK Ultra initially, right? Was for the CIA to brainwash people into being agents, so that way they could go do something surreptitiously without it falling back on the agency. You know, you're telling me that this guy, he just disappears for weeks,
Thanks.
and then he comes back and he's totally different, and that's nothing to be suspicious about? Oh yeah, he shot him because he was plagued with backaches after his back surgery, and the insurance didn't want to cover him. Like, then why the fuck did he shoot the CEO?
Can we talk?
Why?
Goodbye now.
Why of all fucking... How would that make any sense? How the hell did he pull it off if he was just some random guy? And a couple of days before the CEO is set to testify in front of Congress? That's I don't buy it.
What do you want to do?
Well, isn't that something?
All the... to repeat the story, and I'm like, anytime all the media agrees on anything, you know it's bullshit.
That's the way.
All right then.
Let's go.
Yeah, like, I'm sure you've seen by now they're doing a comparison of the eyebrows of the shooter compared to Luigi, and they don't look the same at all. That could just be like one bad picture or something, but it looks very clearly like it's not the same guy.
Really?
Well, exactly. And the two pictures that they're showing are 24 hours apart, less than 24 hours apart.
This place. Let's.
And he has full and not trimmed eyebrows, in the two pictures, the two guys. But in one picture, the separation between the eyebrows is like a half an inch. And in the other picture, the separation between the eyebrows is like almost 2 inches. In less than 24 hours?
All right then.
That sounds insane. In addition to, you look at the bridge of the nose and one is way thinner than the other. So yeah, it's either the lowest quality camera of all time, or these are different people.
That's not it.
Really help me out, you. Whoa!
Can we talk?
Whoa!
Can we talk?
Whoa!
It's also very weird how very obviously he wanted to get caught.
Can we talk?
Like, he literally had the murder weapon on him when he was eating at McDonald's.
Whoa!
Can we talk?
Yeah, when all the news had been going on for like at least 12 hours by that point, there was a nationwide manhunt going on for the guy. Bullcrap. If he was that sloppy, there's no way he gets away. And in the first place,
There.
you know?
Until next time.
What is it? Oh.
All right then.
And he had a manifesto that was like 300 words long, which is not a fucking manifesto.
It's a fucking 3x5 note card where he said current thing bad. That's another thing. It seems way, way too suspicious. The media is talking about how the weapon that he used was a 3D printed gun. That's total bullshit. A gun that is completely 3D printed like the entire thing is 3D printed, like they're claiming, is good for one shot,
Go.
and it's hella inaccurate. There's no fucking chance that he was using that. First of all, number one, that. Secondly, he was using subsonic rounds, which is the calling card of an assassin, because that means that it travels slower than the speed of sound, which means that the sound of the gunshot is much quieter, regardless of using a silencer, plus a silencer on top of that.
Right.
Like, this is insane shit. And then the media's talking, oh, it was a 3D printed gun. And it's like, oh, I get it, because they're going to try to make it, they're going to try to regulate 3D printers that much harder. Like, oh, look, a high profile assassination of that insurance CEO was done by a 3D printed gun. That means they're dangerous, so we need to regulate 3D printing. What the fuck? They've been banging this drum already for years, since the last time Trump was in office, and you're telling me, like, complete horseshit. Those things are good for one shot, and it's not even a good one.
What's this heat? I'll come off it. What's up?
Hang on. Huh?
I'll come off it. I won't let it stand.
But yeah, it's
Look at
stuff
that.
doesn't make a lot of sense. I wonder what percentage of people are going to buy the official story and what people won't. Because if you dig into it a little bit, it becomes clear that some stuff doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, hold on. Let me Google something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess that the amount of people who will not buy the official story is 77,269,243.
I'll come
People who will buy the official story is 74,983,555.
What in tarnation's going on?
By the way,
This place.
I cannot fucking believe that they're still counting votes.
I believe that as of this morning, they're done. Because Oregon certified their results, and Oregon is supposed to be last. It's possible California's delaying things a little bit, but I think they're either done or effectively done.
Oh, damn.
But today was the deadline for Oregon to certify, and to my knowledge, they did.
Yes.
You are.
All right.
You know, this implies the existence of a Waluigi Marchione who works in private equity.
I'm sorry, I was chewing.
Time marches on,
What did you say?
and the
This
age
implies the
will
existence
continue.
of a Waluigi Marchione who works in private equity.
This here.
About the currents.
That was worth having you repeated. Outstanding. It gives me an idea for a Grok story.
I wonder what will happen to Kamala. She's going to run for governor of California in 2 years.
She might. Things are still early. To see, given the fact that she's a Democrat, if she was the nominee, she would obviously win.
I too.
But a lot of people are going to be gunning for that spot.
Right.
And after a high-profile loss like this, especially given how powerful certain people are in California politics and how extremely pissed off at her they are for her losing,
So,
Nancy Pelosi being one of them. Nancy has said extremely negative things about Kamala, and as far as California politics go, Nancy's been kingmaker for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Gavin Newsom is related to Nancy Pelosi. That's the whole fucking reason he's even governor right now.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
So Kamala is riding high right now because she was just the nominee and she's still currently vice president. But a lot can happen in 2 years, and all they need is anybody who can take the heat off of how bad things have been,
All right then.
Mm-hmm.
and Kamala's. They'll be showing the door. And she just proved very vehemently that she cannot win an election anywhere outside of California, so it's over.
I mean, who else is going to run? Like Katie Porter?
We've a special sale today.
That'd be funny as hell. The Republicans would try like hell to get her through the Democrat primary because she'd lose in the general.
Oh, man, I have a ton of Twitter notifications. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, right, guy, but that's right now. She's the overwhelming favorite for the Democrat presidential nominee in 2028 because everybody knows who she is. That's not going to be the case in 3 years.
And that was the whole point that I was trying to make. The person who's going to win that nomination is likely somebody that we haven't heard of yet.
Mm-hmm.
In much the same way that that's probably going to end up being exactly who ends up being the presidential nominee in 2028 for the Democrats.
Nobody knew who Obama was in 2004.
What now?
Basically, yeah. He just came out of nowhere to deliver that speech for Kerry, but even then, only very few people were actually like freaking out. Oh my God, he should be the guy in 2028. A lot of people just kind of put it out of their mind, and like, I didn't even know who the fuck he was. I didn't even know that that speech had been made until when the election was actually going on. I was in a class, and I was forced by my teacher to have to listen to the slop because she was a huge raging Democrat. Surprise,
Sounds
surprise.
like a lovely time.
But anyway.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be?
How would anyone be surprised by that? What the hell is this? News post saying Barron Trump, freshman at NYU, reportedly spends more time gaming than socializing with classmates.
Right.
Duh.
He's just like me.
I mean, aside from the fact that, yes, exactly. There's also his dad, Donald Trump. So he probably doesn't want to hang out with too many people. Like, imagine for a second that Barron Trump shows up to a frat party. That frat party just went from being a frat party at NYU to being front page news.
Mm-hmm.
If Barron Trump's in attendance. That's probably extremely isolating. Like, a lot of people would want to socialize with him because he's Donald Trump's son. so they want that notoriety and everything. But you know, it's a lot like you know, you become rich and then people just constantly getting at you because they want your money.
Right.
And this is, you know, they want to get close, they want to be in that inner circle because oh my, Donald Trump's kid. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I don't know if these people are genuine. I don't know if these people are freaks who want to kill me or something because I'm Trump's son. And especially, you know, there's plenty of people who wouldn't be intimidated about that kind of thing, you know, like coming from an old money crowd themselves. And they're like, look, I don't want you here because you're going to make the whole thing a clown show. You know, you won't do anything, but the fact that your attendance mandatory requires Secret Service presence and various journalists showing up, like, I don't want that shit at my party. And who can blame them if they said that kind of thing?
I
So
know
yeah,
who it
like,
was.
yeah, of course he's gonna. Of course, he's going to spend more time just by himself.
What did you say? Listen to me.
Wow, that quote's amazing. Based.
Seriously. Let's do this.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Huh? No, I see. Oi!
Wait.
What? I haven't a choice. Am I understood? You're a great help indeed. Got to say, But then... Mm-hmm.
Well then.
Ah. Still, though.
I'm booting my democracy.
I wish I had better tidings for you.
Oh, nice. I need that. That's actually valuable.
Hmm.
What's up, Del? Something on your mind? Hmm? That's nothing. Just thinking.
Oh no. You're not still feeling unwell, are you?
It's just the twinge now, that's all. I'm sharp as ever, me.
You sure? Because I remember, once the big fever passed, you went hot and cold again a couple more times. I'd never seen you go down like that.
I said I'm fine, didn't I? God, but you don't worry too much. Come on, I'm starving.
Something's bothering me.
Really? He seemed pretty healthy to me.
Just a bad feeling, I suppose. It was a human that wounded him. Hard to say whether the Magla might have any nasty side effects. You know.
You mean he may need magic healing? I don't know if we're gonna find that here on the island.
Hey, is there any way we could get Rella to take a look at him? Magla-borne symptoms can take a turn for the worse incredibly fast, no matter how healthy you are. I'd rather not let it fester.
Well, we do claim to help anyone in need, eh? But don't forget that we're fighting a battle. And if you cannot distinguish friend and foe on the battlefield, it will be your end.
I know you're right.
Yeah, I don't even know what her
Those two are telling themselves the same thing.
what her campaign slogan was. Because I remember Hillary's was "I'm with her."
Well, it was informally "we're not going back," but they never like officially did that. Like, a new way forward was the official.
Really?
A new way forward. Which makes it even worse that when she was asked what would you do differently from Joe Biden, she said she couldn't think of anything. Because you're supposed to be
big time.
a new way forward.
Look, I thought that I struggled for a minute trying to remember Hillary's. I feel like "I'm with her" was just like a T-shirt brand, but the actual campaign slogan was "Stronger Together."
Right.
Let me see here. Yeah, it was "Stronger Together," and "I'm with her" was really popular for the T-shirts and everything.
Right.
But yeah, a new way forward, really? Oh man, it should have been that weird fucking "unburdened by what has been" slop that she always says.
When we fight, we win was another one.
No. Her campaign slogan should have been "Excuse me, I'm speaking." Either that or $5 make you holler.
What was John McCain's "Country First"? Man, I don't remember that at all. "Country First," "Reform, Prosperity, and Peace" were the slogans of John McCain.
Gotcha.
Man, I don't remember that at all. John Kerry, "A Stronger America," "Let America Be America Again."
Or George Bush in 2000 was "Reformer with Results."
How was George Bush a reformer?
Yeah, seriously. Then in 2004 it was "A Safer World and a More Hopeful America."
Okay, I can kind of see that because he was kind of running on this idea of like, you need to reelect me so I can finish the war that I started.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of see that.
Let's see. Mitt Romney's was "Believe in America." The alternative was "Obama isn't worth." That should have been the one that was on the fucking T-shirts, man. Let me tell you.
Like, I know the example doesn't extend back to 2004 for a reason, but, like, I don't know what John Kerry's brand would have been if you were trying to describe it, because his most identifiable trait, I think, looking back, is flip-flopping. And I think the thing most memorable about John Kerry looking back is I voted for it before I voted against it. Hard to build a brand off of that.
What is
Yeah, and
now?
a lot of what he campaigned on was
Instead of speeding to her doorstep,
his service to
you
America
asked the saintliness to come
and
by.
how he won 3
Which was
Purple
anyway
Hearts in Vietnam.
conspiring
Right.
to get our story straight.
But then you had a bunch of guys that he served with, and they're like, you realize that those Purple Hearts were all bullshit, right? One of the Purple Hearts, I shit you not, because I was reading the book that this guy wrote. He served with Carey. And it was like, yeah, I read the fucking, the reports for putting himself up for the medal. What he did is he found a pot full of rice, but like a big pot. Not like a pot that you'd actually cook rice in.
Right.
But this is more like, think of like a gigantic vase kind of pot, where you would have large amounts of food for serving like an entire battalion or something.
Right.
Coming here.
And the thing's filled with rice. So Carey decides, I'm going to chuck a grenade in this thing to blow it up. And he did. So he goes to take cover, but his ass is hanging out. And he gets hit not by shrapnel from the vase or even by pieces of the grenade. He got hit by a fucking super fast grain of rice that barely broke the skin in his own ass. And that was it. That was one of his Purple Hearts.
Man, that almost is an episode of 1,000 Ways to Die.
Thank you so much for your help leading the evacuation. They tell me not everyone got a chance to thank you. So on their behalf...
But yeah, like, as someone who lived through the entirety of Kamala Harris's campaign, I don't know. And here's the next part of that article where he asks ChatGPT what Harris's brand is.
Don't worry about it. Didn't want the annihilation of a whole village on my conscience is all.
Wasn't expecting you to handle the evacuation side, Del. Thought for sure you'd be the first in the fray with the human.
They healed me up. Gotta repay the favor, don't I? Wouldn't feel right otherwise.
And then for their sake, you should take care of yourself, too.
Yeah, for real. Like that's all anybody can come up with is, oh, she's a woman and she's dark. Who the fuck cares? Like,
I will say, and this is like the one thing I think her campaign did well, she almost never brought up the fact that she would be the first woman president. Like, it wasn't like Hillary, who brought it up constantly. Like, it was a big thing with her, the glass ceiling. Kamala really never talked about the glass ceiling at all, which I think is a good thing. And I think she was correct to do it.
What? Who the hell? No way.
I think that if she had constantly talked about how, you know, I'm trying to break the glass ceiling, it would have been even more off-putting.
You're joking. You're not
Yeah.
joking. Why is she here?
I called for her and she came. You that surprised? I know people in the Crown theocracy. My work speaks for itself these days.
It's almost time for the Saints' Day festivities in Montario. Having been invited, I was in the area. I heard about your splendid work, Fidelio and Basilio. I hardly recognize the two of you.
You remember us?
Of course. This is a bit of a reversal, though. Back then, it was you helping treat Basilio's wound. I can tell how far you've come since then.
Oh, Snacks, while I have you on the call, did you leave a comment on the short that I just posted on my YouTube channel? It's one of the, you know,
Oh yeah, sure.
the ones I'm trying to get engagement with. So, according to a recent report, Luigi Manchione did not have any kind of a connection to United Health. He didn't have, like, a claim going with them. He didn't have any kind of,
Oh, no. Now it's even more obvious that if they're going to pin it on this guy, he's an MK Ultra case.
Yeah, he was not a United Health policyholder.
Imagine how fucking bad it's going to be if they end up letting this kid go after everything that happened. Like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, oops, sorry, we got the wrong guy. My god. Anyway, so for the comments, you want me to leave like a serious comment, or can it be a comment like one of my Grok stories?
You can leave whatever you want. It's just for engagement purposes.
Okay.
Maybe don't do anything that would get the comment, like, marked for, you know,
Yes, that should do.
slurs or something.
I can see you had an expert looking after you already. Physically, you're as well as anyone could ask. But Fidelio, is there something you feel lost or anxious about?
I can't believe that he thinks that Tim Walls thinks it's a good idea to lean into the meme by making his Christmas tree star out of a tampon. Like, I get leaning into the meme, but that's just like proving everything that people thought about you correct.
Yeah. That's why I responded with what I said when you initially showed me that tweet. It reminds me when DeSantis won his governorship the first time, and the guy that was running against him, the Democrat, being pushed as like this wholesome Chungus family values guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking day after he lost the election, he goes on a week-long bender where he's doing coke, meth, and banging male prostitutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
bro. Jesus, man. Anyway, here's the comment I was planning on sending. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
All right, go for it. That's fine.
Where's that coming from?
I've talked to lots of people and observed the flow of their magic. By now...
Alright, and I'll thumbs up the video, thumbs up my own comment, thumbs up the other comment that was left, and we're good.
Thank you.
Magla is connected to our emotions. When I speak to someone who's feeling strong emotions, I can sense the state of their heart as if seeing it with my own eyes.
Nah, I'm sound. Nothing's getting me down.
I see. Then you should be fine. Just don't take life for granted, or your treatment will have been for nothing. Keep on.
Man, Belichick is going to crash and burn so hard in college. I really believe that.
With Basilio. If you can make it without slowing down, then clearly.
Swear to God, why UNC? I don't get it. There's no connection to Carolina at all. That can't have been the only franchise that was gonna fucking give him the keys to the castle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? I said I'm fine. Oh, damn it. Basilio! Hang on!
Thanks, Rella. When you told me about the first time you'd saved someone's life, I didn't realize you were talking about them.
You're in Luis's entourage now. Yet you needed our stories to match in front of the brothers. You're swimming in dangerous waters, aren't you? Not just that, you've got a gauntlet runner that can teleport across the land and an elder captain who wields it through magic. That's a lot to take in. Well,
Jeff Bezos donates $1 million to Trump's inauguration.
I didn't realize it when I met you before, but you're already one of the top candidates. I saw the King's Rock. Are you intending to confront Luis?
Yes. That's right.
Well, there you have it.
So you're committed to this path, no matter what. I knew this day might come. It's not my place to stop you.
Come now, do you have to be so bleak? I've already spent my fair share of time with Luis, you know.
Don't underestimate Luis. As far as the Crown Theocracy knows, the King's magic will protect the highest candidates from any harm. And they think that guarantees their safety at the festival. But I've done my research.
Which is really funny, too, because Elliot Rodger, like, a lot of incels are like, oh my god, he was actually a Chad. He was a fake cell guy.
Attacks the barrier can't stop. I believe the magic
When you
only
compare
protects
Elliot Rodger to
underhanded
Saint Black Ops
approaches,
2
like
cell.
ambush.
So there's a loophole.
Oh, yeah. You know what else we haven't talked about, really? You're familiar with what happened in Syria last week, right?
Yes.
I mean, it feels like he's
Yeah,
been hanging on by a thread for a decade.
Well, because Russia was propping his country up. And this is the first time that the opposition has actually engaged in an offensive since the Ukraine war started. Russia evacuated almost all their military assets from Syria to go to Ukraine years ago. So it was all on Assad's army to actually hold strong themselves, and they basically just all surrendered immediately.
Both parties identify
It's at that point
themselves,
that you remember that Syria actually used to be a French colony.
Magic won't protect them, no matter their standing.
It was for a very short period of time, though, after the end of the First World War, when the Ottoman Empire was broken up.
Was that why the battle with Gladal?
Initially, France, England, and Russia were supposed to carve up the Ottoman Empire. But when Russia collapsed in the Russian Revolution, they basically forfeited any claims that they had to the carving up of the Ottoman Empire, so France and England just split it up between the two of them. So France got Syria, and then the United Kingdom got everything else.
Be careful down the road, all right?
But that's because France already took, like, most of Africa.
Then please, look after Juna.
Ugh, you do know I'm not a child anymore.
But yeah, it was a long time coming. They suck.
Spring-heeled bastard, you've got the height advantage.
It's gonna get worse there, though.
You haven't won yet.
Oh yeah, big time.
I suppose we'll have to leave it there.
Yeah, it's definitely one reason to thank God that Trump won, yet again. Because if Kamala had actually won, bro, we'd be getting millions of Aryans in the next few years.
I owe you thanks for that,
Right.
if nothing else. The Islanders gave us a map of the east side of the island. Their way of thanking us, I suppose. You're welcome to it, if you don't waste it.
See? Old Dell's great at looking up.
By the way, don't feel too bad for saying Black Ops 2 Cell, because he was young, and he also was not actually focused on trying to make himself look more aesthetically palatable. He did a photo shoot some years later to try to redeem himself, and he looks pretty good.
Not surprising. Still looks kind of like an alien, though.
It's just because it's French. Also, what you just sent me is based.
Man. So. Let me see here. So I saw Totoro in theaters 2 days ago.
Nice. Hope you had a good time.
I did actually. It's good. There's not much to say about it though. There's not much to it,
That's solid.
but it's very nice.
Yes.
Yes, it was the first time, Dota. It was the first time I'd seen it.
Oh, belt up, would you?
Oh, that's
Didn't mean to
based.
ask,
Let's go.
That's a book, yeah?
I wasn't even expecting
Take
that.
you for a book reader. Lord Luis likes them though. Often got his head buried in one.
By the way, doesn't Lord Luis have this same book?
Tesla is now up 69% this year.
Nice.
John Fetterman is claiming that he may vote yes on Hegseth.
Nice.
Man, people are gonna get so fucking mad at him.
Oh, yeah. They should get used to it.
How should we know? Not like we grew up round books. People barely literate nowadays, frankly.
So, what's it say? As long as we're killing time anyhow, let me see it. In this world, one can become anything they desire. Neither birth nor status decides your occupation.
Huh? Sounds grand, that. You think this place really exists?
Did you see the, have you seen the fucking Mitch McConnell stuff from the last couple days, by the way?
No. No, I have not.
Apparently he fell asleep while eating lunch and banged his, like, hand and head on the table when he fell asleep. And, he actually had to get, like, a cast and stuff, and, here he was, I think this was earlier today. It's a video clip, by the way.
Of course not, you muppet. It's a fantasy, remember? Anyone is free to become anything. This is a paradise
Dude,
of
holy
liberty and
shit.
freedom, devoid of discrimination or prejudice. Pretty words, then. But if everybody's free to do what they want, they'll work out their own reasons to be prejudiced.
Like, there are not...
Oh!
What?
You can call it a
What
utopia,
the fuck?
but I reckon
It's
people living in it
that
might
video!
be
Holy shit!
Oh, okay.
That... Wow! He just stood there.
I mean, I'm not particularly a big fan of Mitch McConnell, but, like... This is, like, pretty sad to watch. Okay, Dota, I'm gonna post it in the politics channel right now.
At the end of the day, dreaming of escape will only ever be a dream.
Man.
Nothing changes unless you do it with your own hands.
So, I don't know how it works, because I think Kentucky has a Democrat governor, Andy Beshear. So, if McConnell has to, like, step down or something, I don't know how the replacement is handled. Now, McConnell's up for re-election in 2 years, so you can probably just, you know, elect somebody else in 2 years, but that is a long 2 years for him, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Dumbass probably should have stepped down while it was responsible to have done so, you know?
Right. Maybe the stitch-up is the fact that Andy Beshear's the governor, and McConnell knows that if he steps down, he'll get replaced with a Democrat. That might be the issue.
Well, that's the thing. You know, think about this past election, is what I was talking about ago. Months previously, McConnell said that he was not going to continue to be the Senate Majority Leader because, you know, retiring for age purposes and everything, but not from being a senator. Imagine if he just fucking did. So then, yeah, okay, fine, whatever, Democrat gets appointed senator, but you have a special election this fucking year.
Get your head out of
What do you think happens then?
We're long past being able to get away with that. Doesn't matter anyway.
Probably a sweeping victory for the Republican.
Oh, yeah. In Kentucky, for sure.
Yeah, so, like, why the fuck did he not step down months ago? That's what I mean by he should have done it when it would have been responsible to have done so. What the fuck was he thinking? Stupid bastard. Now I'm so angry at him that I don't care that that video that I watched was just so heartbreaking. Because I had to remember that he's a monster.
Yes, of course.
Fun playing this DLC. Gotta say.
Why would Andy Beshear nominate a Democrat? Because he is a Democrat, and right now with the Senate being as competitive as it is, you don't want to give up any advantage. And Andy Beshear is so popular in Kentucky, he can probably survive it. Like, Andy Beshear, they like him in Kentucky a lot.
So the Republicans right now have the Senate lead after this election, 53-47.
Right.
So if Mitch stepped down, or given the condition that he's in, if he just fucking died, because at this point, Jesus Christ, he passed out eating lunch. And he's got to have that ridiculous turban on his head because he was obviously sitting down. How hard do you think you could slam your head on your table sitting down where you're at right now, or your desk or whatever, in order for you to have to wear something ridiculous like that? Yeah, he's an old man, but that's the whole point. If he's that fucking fragile because of his age.
Right.
Jesus Christ. So, like, yeah, you know, he'll probably croak at some point in the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, Democrat appoints a Democrat, and then it's 52 Republican senators to 48 Democrat senators. Now, we still have that lead, and thanks to Harry Reid, you know, that's more than enough to do anything that you want if every single Republican votes the way that they're supposed to. But we've got at least 3 shitbags. So,
yeah.
Suddenly they can hold Trump hostage
right.
at any time that they want.
Yeah, I will say this. Collins is a team player. She gets away with everything she can get away with. I don't have a problem with Susan Collins. But Lisa Murkowski's already floating the idea of leaving the Republican Party totally and becoming an independent. So, like, she's not going to be a team player at all. And I think that John Curtis is going to be terrible. And it's really fucking annoying that a state as blood red as Utah keeps giving us really weak senators. Like, John Curtis is going to make Mitt Romney look like fucking Tommy Tuberville.
Well, I actually found something out. And there's a reason for that. It's because at the end of the day, it all comes back to Utah's Mormonville.
Yeah.
But the reason that this is relevant is because federal agencies like the CIA, FBI, and so on actually love recruiting Mormons. Because they're white and patriotic, so no matter what kind of fucked up thing you're going to tell them to do, because you're their boss, they're going to happily do it. Number 3, because of the tenets of Mormonism, you can count on them to not do drugs.
Right.
And that's relevant because the way that a lot of spy assassinations like to be done is to make it as plausibly deniable as possible. So what they try to do is have it look like a drug overdose. Now, it was real easy to get away doing that in the 70s, 80s, and 90s because so many people who would join, they were just regular people, and, drugs were everywhere. And drugs are still everywhere now, but if it's a Mormon, now it comes into question. They're like, you're telling me that this guy has been a Mormon his whole life and, lived the stereotypical Mormon life, all of a sudden died of a heart attack because he ingested a couple of kilos worth of cocaine all by himself? That doesn't sound possible to me. And then they do some investigation and find out that, there's some skullduggery afoot. Whereas before they would have just said, fuck it, That guy was constantly on the dust, case closed. So, that all comes back to, if federal agencies love recruiting from this population, they will shift the culture of that population to being as horrible as possible because they're just trying to mold them into being the perfect foot soldiers for global homo.
My old man was a serious fella. More than me, that's for sure. He called out corruption where he saw it.
Let's say, when I was reading up on this,
There you go.
it sounded as good an explanation as any to me.
Flat out suggested igniters were more dangerous than the crown theocracy was letting on.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I understand why it's happening, but it's still annoying. You have a state that would vote for any Republican no matter what, like Utah.
Yeah. No, I completely get it, but that's just because Mormons are pieces of shit, apparently. Man, you hate to see it. You really do.
And the overturn of ranked choice voting in Alaska failed by like 700 votes. So Lisa Murkowski's going to be there forever. Which sucks.
That does suck, but wait, that was to establish ranked choice voting.
No,
right?
to get rid of it. They've had it for a while, and this was to get rid of it, and the attempt to get rid of it failed.
Never mind that. Yeah, I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying that was to establish it. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, that sucks. 700 votes, huh?
Yeah, it was incredibly close.
That's definitely within the bounds of fraud to me. So that's what I'm going to consider it.
So yeah, Murkowski's entrenched into that Senate seat for all eternity now. Until she dies. Unless, maybe like Sarah Palin could run against her or something. I think she's still
arrange
popular.
to have her cross paths with Luigi. By that, I of course mean Luigi from the Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
That's a Mama Luigi to you.
Remember, only toast is toast.
He said it wasn't a riot at all. Outright accused the crown theocracy of turning an innocent parapus feral through her.
Oh yeah, the Game Awards are tonight. And like every category has the same 5 or 6 games nominated, so
That makes sense. This was one of the weakest years for video games that we've ever seen.
yeah, we were talking about that last night.
However, it was also one of the greatest years for video games that we've ever seen. For the exact same reason why it was one of the worst. Very few good games came out this year, but the point is, everything that came out that was bad flopped hard and cost the studios a lot of money and resulted in a lot of people being fired. It sucks that it had to be the entirety of the year, so that like we didn't have anything really good coming out. But this year was just a celebration of the inertia of like BlackRock and Larry Fink just running out. So a lot of the flop is just, it's dead.
Right.
EA has lost way too much money to fund any more of this crap. So if BioWare comes out with one more stinker, because like allegedly they're working on Mass Effect 4 as their next big release. If that comes out and it's DEI flop like this, BioWare will be shuttered as a studio.
I'm surprised they're not already.
Because they had a lot of the projects that they had that were ongoing, they had already received funding for. So, you know, it's sort of like, unless they go over the budget, then there's nothing bad that will happen. But like everything that they're working on, they've been working on since before COVID.
I'm genuinely grateful, you know?
So.
Makes a man feel as if he owes you.
And also, that reminds me, did you see what I sent you about GTA 6?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
there
it's
are
probably
signs.
Yes, it's probably gonna suck. It's obviously gonna sell like gangbusters. It's gonna be one of the most financially successful games of all time because of the fact that it's Grand Theft Auto. You know, there's no way it's gonna sell poorly. But it's not gonna be good.
Okay, hear me out. It'll get modded very quickly on release to be whatever we want it to be. The modding community will take care of it, and the game will be fine because of it.
I sure hope so.
For now, I'll catch a boat ride to Altabri ahead of you. Once this festival's over, it'll be farewell for the moment. So, let's make this a bash to remember.
Now, time for some fun. Bring out the treats.
Dude, check the news. Doesn't matter what channel.
And those are?
The fruit is called
You know, it's an incredibly funny thing to say, and I did enjoy saying it. But I kind of hope that I never have to say that seriously again. It was a very stressful day for me. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure it was stressful for everybody else, but... Oh, God.
Man, hopefully Foxford drops a banger tomorrow about Luigi.
That would be very spicy.
Delicious. Beyond delicious.
Wonderful. This again. Hulkenberg's tastes are a dubious metric at best.
Please, it's the rarest of harvests, and we would like to share it with you.
Sounds. I feel quite.
Right? What's going on? There's something odd about the way those two are laughing.
Okay, so some people are making this big deal about how, I guess, Trump said that you store apples in the refrigerator and people don't store apples in the refrigerator. I've always put apples in the refrigerator.
Some do and some don't. I mean, that's true of literally every piece of produce. You know, in my family, we don't store fruit in the fridge, but we store vegetables in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing chemically or organically as a difference between fruit and vegetables that would cause one to decompose faster than the other. In fact, fruit would probably decompose faster because of how much sugar is in there. It's more attractive to various pests and bacteria. This is just yet another example of it. It's like when I was talking earlier about CNN freaking out over Trump eating fried chicken with a fork and a knife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they pick the stupidest fucking shit to freak out over, and that's the whole reason they just got blown the fuck out.
Right.
It took them tens of millions of fake votes in California to even come within 3 million votes.
But he's crying. What is this fruit?
You see, in old times, old long times ago times, people ate this to reach a higher plane of existence and talk to the gods.
Ha!
Which one of me? I'm sorry.
Yes, you certainly appear to have reached some higher state. Glad I passed.
Phew. Finally back to normal. Well, that sure felt like a festival. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, and did you hear? The people of this island...
Did you ever
make a
watch
wish over that
Farscape?
It's said that if you write your wish on a piece of paper, it'll bring you good luck.
My dad did, so I may have caught pieces here and there, but I don't personally remember it at all.
Okay. I was in a stream last night and some people were talking about it. I guess it was like Star Trek, but a little more unchained. So they could do stuff that Star Trek could never do.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, there were a lot of very popular, very good science fiction shows that were made. It's very difficult to keep track of things.
It's so pretty.
See here first. Babylon 5?
Yeah, Babylon 5. I've heard of that one.
But you never watched it?
I did not watch Babylon 5, no.
Babylon 5 is probably the greatest science fiction series ever made. Now, they relied heavily on special effects, and we're talking about late 90s CGI, so it aged like milk. But if you can kind of just ignore that for a minute, it was phenomenal stuff. So you had that, you had 3 different Star Trek series going on, Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine. You had Farscape, you had Andromeda with Kevin Sorbo. What else? See what I mean? So much stuff, I seriously can't keep track of all of it. A lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
Right.
Besides,
Oh, nice.
so
Right.
thank you.
One second, guys.
What? What? Okay.
All right, I am back, but not for very long. I got some stuff I got to do.
All right.
All right, Nick Bosa's officially playing tonight.
All right. You know, it's a shame that the 49ers won't win the Super Bowl because Nick Bosa visiting Trump would have been great.
The dirty little secret is that most players probably like him and can't admit it, so.
Yeah, you know who is the most likely candidate to like him but be unable to say it?
Who?
Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
You hear all that? But that cry was...
Can you imagine what it would be like for him if he was in that situation? He'd be like, "Oh shit."
for the whole thing. But maybe not all of them were happy about it. Makes you think.
It'd be like that picture of him yelling at Andy Reid, except this time he'd be Andy Reid and Taylor Swift would be Travis Kelce.
Really? Are we absolute?
I thought we were done talking about this. He's the reason we got this far. A couple of parapus orphans.
I know, Del, but I heard him talk about his ideal world, and it sounds like a world where we'd have died.
Too late for that kind of talk, brother.
Hey! What are you two doing on your own?
Lady Juna.
What's that look about? I know you're absolutely smitten with me, love.
Do you plan to kill Count...
What are you talking about?
Lady Juna, I don't think your heart... There's a side of you that you only show them.
Are you really so worried for Count Luis?
So you don't actually work for Ford or nothing then? No.
I've been with Count Luis since before...
Hey, Del.
I'm sorry
Awesome.
if I made you worry, but
I love this strategy.
I promise I'll make sure this world's got more to give you two than despair.
Use some more slop.
I saw it with me. That lance gets past the king's magic. That means...
You serious?
Don't worry, it's my own problem.
And I like seeing you listening to her when you get the chance.
So?
Alright guys, that's going to do it for now. I will probably stream again later tonight, probably even during the football game. So I will see you guys soon. Snacks might be here tonight, might not be, I don't know. Obviously he's on his own
When's
schedule.
the stream?
After I eat dinner probably, so you're probably looking at sometime around 6, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably not.
Alright, maybe a little before then, but there might not be a lot of overlap. What time do you think you're going to bed?